Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Shady Mob Podcast with your two favorite pod mob stars.
All right, guys, please click on the subscribe button so you can be notified when we drop our latest content.
3, 2, 1, my guy.
Let's roll.
Let's kick it, baby. You're watching the Shady Mob Podcast with your two favorite pod mob stars.
All right, guys, please click on the subscribe button so you can get notified when the latest content drops.
Let's kick it, baby.
Yo.
So, my G, we talking about this shit right here. Finally came out. How you feeling?
This stuff? Oh, man.
Feeling all spiritual.
This show just tried way too hard to explain what it is instead of showing it to us. It just gave us way too much exposition. The writing felt very rushed. A lot of cuts. Not a lot, but you notice it. As a fan, I think they did everything that they got from the original Avatar: The Last Airbender animated show. Just they did it poorly, but everything new they added worked. Some scenes just felt jumbled up with quick cuts, as I said. Honestly, the audience doesn't have a moment to breathe with how much explanation they have. You're always like this, like, oh, next. We gotta go here. Kyoshi Island. We gotta go into the spirit world.
To be completely honest, they did a good job
here.
at the beginning. They did a decent job at the beginning explaining everything.
And then Owashu, and then in a tunnel, secret tunnel, and then the north. Like, come on, bro. Let me get a break. I want to see these characters grow.
So that's the thing. Like, I felt like at the beginning. So I felt like the story as an entirety was jumbled up together.
Yeah,
and
it was rough.
It was all like it was definitely jumbled up together. But then at the beginning of the show, I felt like they were doing a decent job, or they were actually no. At the beginning of the show, I felt like they were doing a little bit too much to over-explain certain aspects. That if you're an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan, and I'll be honest, you kind of have to be an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan to be watching this show. I guarantee you the majority of the people watching this are original animated fans. You don't necessarily have to explain certain aspects of the storyline. When you explain something, when you already explained something, it was okay to move on to the next thing and explain that thoroughly. Some of the things that they added, like for example, the backstory of how Zuko got his crew through the Agni Kai. I like the non-canon addition of Ji Hong. The lieutenant
the beginning where the air nomads were fighting the Fire Nation.
I loved how they
beginning where you see Earthbender spies in the Fire Nation. Dude,
I hated the Earthbending at the beginning. I love the Kyoshi scene. I hated how they out of the three other avatars that we see, Kyoshi was the only one that genuinely looked like a badass. Roku, fucking horrible portrayal of Roku.
Was the worst.
I hated Roku.
Kurok was cool.
Kurok was okay.
He seemed mean, but then Roku just seemed like that, like happy.
Kurok, because we haven't had a lot of Kurok portrayed. For me, it's an acquired taste. You'll either like him or you don't like him, depending on
Roku was a disappointment.
Roku was definitely a disappointment.
It's like the first time they're interacting, and then this guy, he's supposed to, bow your head, look down, now hop on one leg. Yeah.
And when Aang's like, what should I do to help save my friends? He's like, oh, I can't help you with that. That kind of just irritated me. Like, that's not Roku. Uncle Iroh, I loved him. He was awesome.
He was good. He was really good. Zuko and Iroh.
Well, actually, I'd have to say Uncle Iroh for certain people would be an acquired taste. The reason why is because I feel like his portrayal was a little bit too goofy. I like him to be a little bit more wiser. And no. I like him to be a little bit more wiser because I felt like
wise.
No, he was wise, but I like him to be portray it a little bit more. Like I felt like there were scenes where he did a really excellent job portraying Uncle Iroh like he really was. But there were other scenes where he just kind of came off as a comedic relief. And yes, Uncle Iroh, there were moments where he was a comedic relief, but like it came off more comedic at times, and it did come off the wiseness. I love the scene where we get Liu Ten's wedding, and the emotion he could.
Funeral.
Dude, it was so beautiful.
Wedding.
I'm sorry, the funeral.
Funeral.
I hated Jet Li or Jet. I hated Jet. Jet Li.
What movie did you watch, bro?
I know, right?
What did you watch?
I don't know, but I hated Jet, bro. I fucking hated Jet. The way he comes into the way he.
Bro, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan were crazy.
Facts. Jet, the way that
the
he
Eiffel
tries
Tower.
to like get at Katara, bro. Like that kind of. That was just cringe. Like the way that Sokka hit it out the park. I thought the guy that they casted to be Sokka was amazing. The way that he interacts with his two female counterparts in Suki and Yue, bro, like the chemistry with both of them. My guy, how are you so good? My G, show me that game, bro.
I didn't like his interaction with Suki. That's the moment in the show, in the animated show, where you see him kind of grow up and leave his misogyny behind.
See, my issue.
Realize his issues there, but in here, you almost get a hint of it, you know, where it's like, oh, you girls dress up in dresses and call yourselves warriors, and
what did
Suki say? She's like, oh, we're not just warriors, we're Kyoshi warriors.
Well, I don't think Sokka didn't even say anything like that. He was literally like, "Oh, you're a great warrior." He literally gave her flowers and her respect.
Oh, that's right.
For being a warrior.
That's right.
He never even said you guys dress up or anything in the Netflix adaptation.
I was confusing it with the OG. Yeah.
In the OG, it made sense. In this one, the thing that irritated the fuck out of me was when Sokka was giving her proper respect. Hey. I'm a warrior in my tribe. I'm like you. I'm a warrior like you. And she took offense to that. And she's like, I'm not just a warrior. I'm a Kyoshi warrior. And I'm just like, Sokka was not trying to say you were just a warrior. He's saying like you defend your village, I have to defend mine. And she took it completely like the wrong way. Honestly, I loved Kyoshi in this. Amazing. Loved how powerful she was.
That was a really cool scene. Awesome depiction of her as a character.
I hated how Sokka and Katara both went into the spirit world with Aang.
That was confusing to me, because they kind of just, again, exposition. They try to explain it when literally it doesn't make sense. Oh, the power around me brought you in.
It made sense. It made sense in Legend of Korra when you have two spiritually connected people, but it did not make sense in Avatar: The Last Airbender, especially because the spirit portals aren't open and all of that.
So if you think about it, all the avatars are in the spirit world, right? All the previous ones. So how come Yue didn't go into the spirit world when he contacted Kurok in the North Pole? How come Katara didn't go into the spirit world to see Avatar Kyoshi when he went into the the spirit world? It didn't make sense. How the fuck does that happen? It didn't make sense.
The other thing that for me also didn't make sense, and this is why I gave the story a 2, from like the cinematography, the way that it's shot, even some of the choreography, like the cinematography was.
It's not that bad.
The cinematography
was terrible.
The cinematography was great. The choreography was like, I'll give the choreography about a 6, but the story for me, at least some of the key aspects to it, the reason why it's a 2 is because the key aspects that they want us to believe in does not make sense. Like the whole fact that you're gonna waste so much trying to attack the Northern Water Tribe just to get Omashu made no sense to me when Omashu already knew the
double spear tactic. If one fails, one works, and that's what they were betting on.
that doesn't make any sense because you wasted so many resources. You can't say, oh, the plan was never the Northern Water Tribe. The plan was always Omashu. And then the other thing that pissed me off...
But they were going to do the same thing.
But hold on. The other thing that pissed me off...
When Zuko interrupted his father, they were going to do the same thing. They were going to sacrifice soldiers.
Yes, they were going to sacrifice soldiers, but for me, it just didn't make sense to sacrifice the amount of soldiers that they sacrificed. They were only going to sacrifice one division with Zuko. They sacrificed hundreds of an entire fleet, essentially, to try and attack the Northern Water.
I know why they sacrificed, because they had a really good leader. The best actor in the entire... the best character.
Oh, yeah, Zhao. The best
character. The best character in the entire show, dude, Zhao. No, oh man, his sideburns cannot be beat.
Facts. But no, for me, the part that actually killed it the most was how they also they never explained how Zhao knew that day was going to be the day that the moon or whatever the fuck came. Like, that's
it's exposition. They dumped it. Oh yeah, this is the day. Like, okay, great.
That's why for me,
of all of them, of all the days.
That's why for me it was a 2. That's why the entirety of the show is a 5. Because when you take into account all the positives plus this story, like, it drags it down to a 5.
I don't know. I think with everything, so here's my rating. 3 main things wrong with this show. 3. It is short, 8 episodes. Wrong. Bad. Bad Nickelodeon Studios. Bad Netflix. Bad. It should be a 10. 10 episodes.
I think that's perfect. More on Netflix, but yes, you're right. Bad.
That is 1. 2.
The budget was only $30 million less than the movie.
2. The second reason why is because it is rushed. Very rushed acting, very rushed writing, very rushed story and pacing. Everything about it is just rushed. There are scenes where it is come into normalcy, but because of how much content they're trying to fit, especially episode 3 and 4, rushed. Okay, it does not make up for the rest of it. Episode 5 and 6, they also rush into a lot of they try to combine a lot of episodes and justify the story by moving it forward with this issue that the North is going to be attacked, when the real issue is the Sozin's Comet. And 3, another issue that I have with this, the third reason why it's not that great, is the acting. The acting could have been way better. Katara, definitely not good.
Azula,
Azula, Zhao, Aang was not like his character. Zhao was not good.
Hated the way he died.
Iroh, honestly, if you don't like him in the first episode,
I respected Aang. I respected Aang, and I feel like Aang will eventually grow into being a likable. When he grows up, I feel like when he grows up, we're gonna like Aang.
Boomy was terrible. Boomy was ass. He was the worst character.
Hated how hopeless he was.
The Mechanist and his son, useless. Jet, I don't even know why he's there. Check him out.
We didn't need him in this season. We could have met Jet next year.
But overall, if you're coming into this and you don't know anything about it, I honestly think it's good that you don't know anything about it. If you're just a regular person, if you're a person who is just jumping into it, this is a slightly above average TV show, in my opinion. I gave it a 6 out of 10, slightly above average, solely because, yes, you can get introduced to a plethora of characters, a lot of main characters.
So this is my prediction. Two arcs,
Aang and Zuko, and the way that they're intertwined is good.
Yes.
Real quick,
Alex.
Real quick, I just want to finish. It was visually the most beautiful show I've ever watched. I'm putting it up here, but it is visually amazing. The choreography, set design, everything was perfect in that realm. But it's just the acting, the pacing kind of held it off. 6 out of 10, slightly above average. There's definitely worse shows. So
this is my prediction.
But
season 2, we're not going to get Toph until the very end of the season, and then he might not be.
Man, don't say that.
Halfway through, I'm just being honest. So, guys, you're watching a Shady Mob production. Make sure to follow for more Shady Mob content, where we discuss our favorite TV shows, movies, and more.
please make sure to share, like, and comment and subscribe so that you can be notified when the latest content drops.
All right, my guy. So, what would you recommend the people to watch next?
Real quick, Shogun. Shogun is a really good show. I actually am about to start watching it. I know I'm recommending it blindly, but I'm definitely going to start watching it. Really good. A lot of cool Japanese actors as well. And it takes place in feudal Japan around the 1600s when Westerners come into Japan. So check it out. It's on Hulu, FX as well if you got TV. Apparently it's really good.
I'd recommend if you're into Netflix adaptations, check out One Piece. Honestly, the One Piece Netflix adaptation, it works, especially because One Piece isn't necessarily meant to be serious. I thought like it was very spot on. For me, it was like a 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10 compared to this. So yeah, go check out One Piece and let us know what your guys' thoughts were. Guys, please share, like, comment, and subscribe to A&A Radio and N1 from the End Zone for more content.
We love and appreciate you guys, your support. Stay tuned for more content, more videos, more of our faces and our thoughts. And we'll see you guys next time.
Love you guys. Stay safe.
Bye, guys.
When this Master Chief start blasting beats like this was Halo 3 marking NPCs. I ain't